Hey girly, you're innovative, creative, determined. Have you ever wanted to be the CEO of your own life?
I guess.
Wondering what to do with those leftover prescription pills? Turn your Adderall into an empire.
Tell me more.
Achieve all this and more by joining Girl Boss Inc.
I'm not a woman, I'm a girl boss.
Like Doug Emhoff's wife, the assistant president.
Or JFK's most famous side hoe. What's her name? Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, or like that British secretary, Margaret Thatcher.
You'll be put under the mentorship of another, bigger girl boss. Learn how to Instagram DM celebrities, suppress unionization, and have deep conversations with your girlfriends.
How come only men play devil's advocate in class discussion?
Yeah, and where are all the women-owned private prisons?
Join us for our upcoming events, like a private screening of the Cruella de Vil movie,
Because girls can kill puppies too.
or a virtual interview with Ellen DeGeneres, because we're all allies here.
So join Girl Boss Inc. today and get a free travel mug.
Because no one does the free market like a girl boss.
Dues are $13,000 for the first year, increasing by 50% each subsequent semester. Blood pack required to join. No refunds, returns, or exchanges. Join Girl Boss Inc. today.
Hello and welcome to the premiere of Season 9 of Live from Studio B. We have been on air for quite some time, and we're not stopping. We plan to set records go longer than Grey's Anatomy. You know, we're gonna have some secret twins, plane crashes.
Yeah, we're going to increase our budget.
Patrick Dempsey comes, whatever.
why not?
Yeah, so I'm Bridget Moore. That's
Thomas Kitchell, that's me.
And how are you feeling about being back, Thomas?
I am ecstatic for being back. And one of the things that comes with being back is that new Shine has opened.
So good.
And that this has revolutionized the way that we use our meal swipes forever, which has found people asking themselves,
What could I be doing in the time it takes to order at Shine?
so without further ado, here's our list of things you could be doing in the time it takes to order at Shine.
Pay off your mortgage. Oh. Pay off your mortgage.
Get abs. Or forgive your father for leaving you.
Forgive Thomas's father for leaving me.
Or master a skill.
Master a skill way better than Thomas mastered it.
Solve world hunger, only to realize that you were the hungry one this entire time.
Drive to a real restaurant, sit down and order, only to realize they don't recognize SuperCard as an actual form of currency.
Get hired by Syracuse Dining Services as a core life worker, learn every specialty grain bowl, befriend the manager, fall in love with the manager, only to get fired after the manager's wife finds out about your special relationship.
Write a 500-page dissertation for your philosophy class, run a marathon, raise a child, watch them grow into adulthood, only to realize you wanted food.com for lunch.
Go back in time and convince Kent to never close Kimmel so you can enjoy a poorly blended Haagen-Dazs milkshake. Oh, and while you're at it, you may want to reintroduce your parents and make them fall in love to save your own existence.
Right. Also, finally finish that quarantine puzzle. Yes.
I've always wondered what the Eiffel Tower looks like in puzzle form.
Comprise a legal team to investigate the atrocities Tomato Wheel has committed against my intestines.
Soon to be on the Supreme Court docket, the people versus Tomato Wheel.
travel to the center, or should I say the core, of the Earth.
Travel to the center of the Earth only to realize that this is where the actual beginning of the Panda Express line is.
Freaky Friday into Pete Sala's body and compose the construction update emails for the rest of the semester.
You could learn how to read. And side note, whoever is holding up the giant cards with the weird hieroglyphics on them, can you put them down, okay? Because you're distracting me.
That's actually, never mind. Wow, I never realized how much stuff we could do in the time it takes to order at Shine.
Yeah, and we didn't even get into all the things you can do once you get your order, waiting to find a seat at Shine.
I guess we'll have to save that for next time.
Until then, this has been things you could do in the time it takes you to order at Shine. All right, so for our first guest on the show today, Bridget and I have the utmost pleasure of speaking with Shine Safety Official Officer Woody Longshaft?
Are you serious?
That's what it says.
What?
Yep, thanks for having me, Thomas. As a safety officer, it's my job to make sure you're pleasured.
Thank you, officer.
What would be your biggest responsibilities as a Shine Safety Officer?
My biggest responsibilities are all about making sure the Chancellor is completely satisfied with how the facility is being handled. And to do that, we need to make sure the students stay safe.
Wow, you seem to take your job very seriously.
Of course I do. Officer Longshaft coming from Studio B. What's the situation? Over. Got it. Make sure they've finished by the time I get back.
Officer, is that walkie-talkie just really small? I can't see it.
It's actually quite large. Larger than average, I've been told. You just can't see it right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that that's for the best. Officer, what tips can you offer us today about, staying safe and Shine during a pandemic?
Of course. One tip is to be careful around the couches. You can only have one person on them at a time. Trust me, when you get two people on a couch, things get messy. It all comes down to social distancing, something I've always had trouble with.
Oh, really?
Never would have guessed.
Of course, 6 feet. People say length doesn't matter, but I assure you, it does. And I have a very special tool to measure it with. This here's my social distancing stick.
Thank God. It's certainly very impressive.
Oh, it sure is, Bridget. It's one of those essential tools I use as a Shine Safety Officer. Protecting students from the dangers of COVID-19 is difficult work, but someone has to do it.
Well, officer, it sounds like you have an awfully hard job to do there.
Am I a joke to you?
What? No, I just thought that we were like...
Yeah, it's extremely immature to make sexual innuendos in a professional environment. Don't you know that?
Officer, he didn't mean anything.
Oh, you don't see me as a real police officer, do you?
Well, I mean, technically you're not a police officer, but that's not what's important.
Oh, and I suppose COVID-19 isn't technically a real deadly disease affecting millions of people across the world.
Didn't say that.
You know what, Thomas? You know what? You could go back to whatever dungeon you crawled from, and you and your little friends could go spread the disease like warm jelly, okay? But if you ever think about coming to Shine, just know that I, Woody Longshaft, will be standing erect and attentive, ready to stop you. I'm out of here.
No, wait, come on, you can stay. I'm sorry.
No. It's too late for that. Besides, I got a package to deliver.
I think that was not what I was expecting.
I feel less safe.
I think for our mental health, we should move on.
Just keep going.
You know we love to keep you updated on the most important topical current events, so let's roll into it. The governor of Texas has lifted the state's mask mandate and announced businesses will be able to reopen at full capacity. You can read all about it in his new book, Age-Based Eugenics.
Or if you're still interested, you can read even more about it in his sequel, Die Already, Grandma! Joe Biden has agreed to limit the eligibility of the $1,400 stimulus check. Only people who beat Biden in a fistfight, or as he puts it, take it outside and go old school with him, will be eligible.
A doctor was fired after administering expired doses of the COVID vaccine. The doctor went on record saying they weren't expired, just matured.
Johnson & Johnson responded, "It's a vaccine, not a bottle of Merlot, you idiot."
The doctor fired back by sniffing a recently vaccinated patient's arm and pointing out the notes of cherry.
The British cartoon Peppa Pig will be getting its own theme park in Florida in 2022. This, of course, will replace her old theme park, the Deli.
Jeez. The Daily Orange recently reinstated its weekly humor column after a 3-year hiatus, which will likely bring the Daily Orange's readership from 5 people down to 3.
I have already canceled my subscription. The UK government mistakenly offered a man a COVID vaccine too early after they labeled his BMI as 28,000. His BMI was actually 28, so the We Fit scale still measured him as morbidly obese.
LA sheriffs executed a search warrant on Tiger Woods' car after his crash. All they found was a sticky note on the rearview mirror reading, "They're clapping quietly because it's golf, not because they don't love you."
Jim Boeheim was criticized a reporter for never playing basketball because he's 5'2". Boeheim, who famously thinks that everything is basketball, was quoted as saying, "That's why you've never written a triple-double article."
Trader Joe's fired an employee after he wrote a letter to the CEO voicing his concerns about COVID safety in stores. Trader Joe's has publicly apologized and said they will be implementing more safety precautions, like requiring shoppers to stand 2 tiki torches apart.
Well, that's all that's in the news for you today, but now we have a very special occurrence of Season 9, the first commercial break.
We know you love it. Enjoy.
You know why you're here.
Yeah, I do, but isn't it illegal to be discriminated against because of your beliefs or lack thereof?
Jake, we've been over this. At this company, you have to believe in ghosts. We got more incident reports. Your coworkers and your clients are saying that you don't embody the company's values. Remember, to be a Ghostbuster,
You have to fear no ghost. Because they don't exist.
Jake, if we're going to make this work, you need to be sensitive. Think of your colleagues.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for your kind words, Claude. Let's get started. Okay, so on June 16th, a client said that when you were called to her home, you were passive-aggressive. Is that true?
I have no idea what that's referring to. None.
It says here that when she asked you to bust the ghost in her home, you said, and I quote, "I can't bust what's not there." And then you threw her Fabergé egg on the floor and said, and I quote, "Oh, did a ghost do that too?"
Yeah, okay. Now, yep, that was Sharon. Beautiful egg.
So it was you. Busted.
No, actually, because I didn't do that. A ghost did that. It was Claude.
Jake, it's not okay to lie about the actions of your coworkers.
Sorry, Claude.
Moving on. A few of your coworkers have reported instances of assault.
Assault? Are you serious? I have never hit anyone. Where is that coming from?
This sheet says that you often hip check your coworkers on your way to the office?
Oh, you mean walking down the hallway?
That's not how the sheet remembers it.
Damn it, Maureen. How was I supposed to know that Halloween was an offensive holiday to the ghost community? Oh, it must be a pipe leak. Maureen, if you're gonna fire me, just do it now.
We aren't firing you yet, but we do think that an internal transfer would be appropriate.
A transfer? Where are you guys gonna move me?
Administration. You'll be a secretary.
There's no upward mobility there. I'm gonna be a secretary until I die.
And then once you die, we can consider a promotion. But for now, let's get you trained. Here's your manual and your phone. Why don't you answer it like you would if you were a secretary?
Okay. Hello, this is Ghostbusters Incorporated. Do you know the extension of who you gonna call?
Jake, let's try it a little more lively.
Oh, more lively, Maureen? More upbeat? Okay, yeah, all right. Hi, this is Jake from Totally Scientifically Explainable Phenomena Busters. If you have a problem with a ghost, you don't. Grow up. You are delusional. Unless your name's Sharon and a ghost broke your Fabergé egg, that was 100% a ghost. I don't have to pay for it.
I'll take that as your resignation.
Don't be so angry, Maureen. Look alive.
Thank you, but I'd maybe hold your applause. Unfortunately, we had to cancel our next segment because Syracuse University is requiring us to bring on our next guest to tell scary stories.
I don't know.
Are we sure? Okay then, I guess. Please welcome Professor of Scary Stories, Charlie Taylor.
Thanks. Thank you so much for having me.
Are you actually a professor of scary stories?
Adjunct professor.
Well, Charlie, we're still not exactly sure why you're here.
Glad you asked, Bridget. Lights?
What? Where did you...
It was a dark and stormy night. 38 degrees, 32 with wind chill. A young college student was all alone by her lonesome. The clock, which had been flirting with midnight for a great many seconds, sealed the deal. Suddenly, her Quizlet crashed. She lost access to the Google Doc she and her group had been collaborating on. She clicked and she clicked to no avail. Finally, she tried to open Refinery 29, her home base. And that was when she saw the dreaded words, "No internet."
Gasp!
You don't say gasp, you just gasp.
And the spookiest, scariest part of it all, my friends, she had brought this horrible fate upon herself because she had failed to get her simple, quick, easy, university-mandated COVID test.
Okay, wait, really? This is why you're here?
I'm sorry, Thomas. My work is not for the faint of heart.
Are you only going to tell stories about kids who don't get their COVID tests?
Lights!
Hey.
It was a moderately cloudy day, 44 degrees, felt like 37. A brash but well-meaning young college student with so much to live for was scheduling his day. He found some time in the afternoon to get his COVID test and penciled it in for 3:30. His phone buzzed. Brunch at 2:30? I can make it back, he thought. The naivete of youth compelling his mind to believe the impossible, so to brunch he went, carefree and thirsty.
Can we wrap this up?
That's exactly what the young man said when he checked his phone and realized it was 3:15. Fearing for his life after a rushed car ride back from brunch, he stumbled through the ever-rotating doors of the dome to be greeted only by an ancient janitor sweeping the cavernous halls of the testing site. "We're closed," he said with a perverted grin.
No!
Oh, yes. The young man was defeated, so much so that after he left, he didn't look both ways crossing the street and got hit by a bus.
Oh my... Okay, we get it. We'll get our COVID test. We know the deal.
That's what they all say, Bridget. Every great figure in history has been taken down by their failure to meet that simple deadline. JFK's driver was taking a shortcut because he was late for his COVID test. Caesar asked Brutus to take his COVID test for him, and it pushed him over the edge. Alexander Hamilton died dueling Burr for the last COVID test. They all fall at some point, all because they won't take the time to spit in the little tube.
Yeah, except for the fact that COVID did not exist when any of these people
What are you
died.
on about?
Lights.
Oh, I'm prepared this time.
It was a bit gloomy, with a small chance of hail, off and on freezing rain, heavy snowfall rolling in through around 4, maybe 4:30. I don't know. A dim-witted young college student, not unlike our last hero, was on a date. The water and the conversation were sparkling. Everything was going well, ominously well.
I learned this in English 117, foreshadowing.
Look at my light.
At the end of their meal, the young man beckoned the waiter as though he was summoning death, possibly death by viral pandemic of which he was woefully unaware because he didn't take advantage of the convenient testing system.
I wonder where this one is going.
Bridget, shh, I'm trying to listen.
He reached for his wallet, ever the gentleman, to pay the bill, but instead he would pay the ultimate price for missing his university-mandated COVID testing time. The waiter swiped his card, but eerily it was declined. Just then, the young man heard a faint voice. For students who do not comply with testing policy, additional sanctions may be imposed. It called out to him, following a creepy cackle. His card declined again, and just then, his date stared at him like a freshly born baby, and she was not his mother.
Well, isn't this a date? So I would hope so. This is not Oedipus.
Who are you? She said. It was then he realized what was happening. His identity was being erased from existence. It was like a Thanos snap for the soul. The waiter bent down beside him and whispered in his ear, "The testing center is open tomorrow and every day of the week from 10 to 2. Make sure you use hand sanitizer. We're always watching."
Wait. Okay, how did the waiter know Syracuse procedures? Wasn't the restaurant off campus?
Yeah, is this really what happens if you don't get a COVID test?
Lights.
No, put the lights back on. Okay, thank you. Thank you to Charlie. We're gonna try to get the lights figured back out. We're gonna try to get power back. We're gonna cut to commercial while we do that.
All right. Enjoy. Don't go anywhere.
ER, we're committed to bringing you stories about the Syracuse community. But we know you're busy. You may not always be able to tune into the radio at exactly the right time. So now we're getting you the stories you want, however you want them, whenever you want them. Whether it's through the NPR One app, on our website, or live on air, we're finding new ways to make sure you're getting the quality journalism you deserve. It's never been easier to access reporting you trust and care about.
Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. As our 3 loyal viewers know, this is my 2nd season hosting live from Studio B.
And this is my 3rd. Get wrecked, Bridget.
It's not a competition, Thomas.
But if it was a competition, I would win.
Okay, well, it's time to prove it. Game time.
Game time. I win. I said it first.
The game is Host Assumptions. We had some random strangers, also known as the Studio B staff, submit their assumptions about Thomas and I. Our job is to guess which assumptions are fake and which assumptions our staff actually think about us.
All right, Bridget. So the first assumption that may or may not be true is that Bridget ships Draco Malfoy with herself.
It's not true. He's like against Muggleborns.
But do you think someone actually thinks that?
You know what? Probably.
Yeah, someone really thinks that.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone really does.
It's the aura I give off. I respect it. Thomas has the capacity to commit tax fraud.
I feel like that's real.
Yeah. High praise.
They've been peeking at my W-2s or something.
Oh my God.
Bridget had a sock puppet obsession as a child.
I want to say real.
Yep. Someone
Okay.
thinks you're
right,
putting
solid.
socks on your hand all the time as a kid.
Well, I guess I did do that. Thomas is not affiliated with Greek life in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, I am. So I feel like that one's not a real assumption.
Correct. It's fake. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Nice job.
Bridget's father is Mr. Worldwide, Mr. Miami himself, Pitbull.
Okay, so the rules of this are really vague. Like, I don't think anybody actually thinks that about me, but I want to say I'm just a complete Florida woman, and that's a real assumption.
It's unfortunately a fake assumption.
What? Come on.
No one.
You don't think I'm worthy enough to be Pitbull's daughter? Okay. All right. Thomas would be a mid-level criminal because he's smart enough to do well, but moral enough to not do the things you have to do the move up in the criminal underworld.
Thank you? I'm gonna say that's a real assumption.
No, it's fake.
Okay, good.
They must think you're.
I could be a high-level criminal. I have what it takes.
I mean, if you
takes.
interpret it that way, okay.
Bridget is very pleased with the State of the Union.
I want to say fake assumption. I am not pleased with the State of the Union. Just
Well,
FYI.
someone thinks you are.
Really?
Yeah, you just love the pandemic, according to someone.
Okay, well, interesting, because the next one is Thomas is not pleased with the State of the Union.
Please be a real assumption. Is that a real assumption? Please be real.
Yes, it's real. Why are you
Yes.
guys convinced that I'm having a good time here? What? All right.
Bridget's Tinder bio includes a pun and/or a reference to musical theater.
God, is that real?
No, luckily for you, it is not real.
Okay.
Let's do one more each.
All right. Thomas is an absolutely awful Just Dance player.
I just want you to know that I am a fantastic Just Dance player, and I will prove that to you in ritual Just Dance combat, but I think that's a real assumption.
No, it's a fake assumption.
Hey, all right,
I think you can
I am
dance.
good. And then
Rah-rah,
the last
Rasputin.
one we'll do here is Bridget would either be a low-level criminal or an incredibly high-level one because chaos creates all or nothing results.
I'll go with real.
That is a real assumption.
Okay,
So
all
which
right.
one is it, Bridget? Are you a high-level or low-level criminal?
For the sake of viewers at home, we'll say low level.
Okay, that's good. That is all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed the first episode of Season 9 of Live from Studio B.
Catch us every other Sunday at 8. We're always here. We're never leaving.
We're never leaving. And if you want more, you can check out the YouTube channel on OTN. Thank you
See
so
ya.
much.